Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces.
You're watching #Silliman.
For #Silliman updates, Silliman University unveiled a marker signifying its status as a National Historical Landmark at the Leopoldo T. Ruiz Administration Hall grounds. The university has been a National Historical Landmark since June 19, 2002, when the National Historical Commission of the Philippines recognized the university's historical significance through Resolution No. 7, 2002. For alumni update, Silliman University College of Mass Communication alumnus Oliver Victor B. Amoroso was recently appointed by GMA Network as acting head of the GMA News Group effective October 16, 2022. He will be in charge of the network's news group, which includes its on-air programs as well as its digital platform GMA News Online. Amoroso continues to serve as GMA's first Vice President and Head of Regional TV and Synergy. That would be all. See you next week for another set of #Silliman updates. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the sea. Welcome to #Silliman. Mayong gabi sa tanan and daghang salamat for joining another episode of #Silliman. We would like to thank all Sillimanians around the world for making us as your Monday night habit. And of course, as we celebrate our National Teachers Month starting September 5 to October 5, we would like to say hi to all our teachers, especially to my teachers, since elementary up to high school and up to college, and of course, our teachers here in Silliman University. And of course, I'm sure that you're having a great time. I know that our prelims, our midterms are fast approaching. And of course, there is a need really to just be calm, take it one step at a time. But I know that things could really get hard. And of course, that's why we invited this episode, one of the persons that could help us in the university. And allow me to introduce him first. We have here our Guidance and Testing Division Head, Kuya Jaruvic Rafols. Welcome
Hi.
to the program, sir.
Good day. Thank you. And this is my second invitation.
Yes. Welcome back.
And Josh, we also have here with us today students from around the world. Speaking of the Higala International Students from around the world president, let's all welcome from Indonesia, Claudine Sebayang, a BSBA Financial Management third-year student.
Hi everyone, this is my first time here, so I'm very excited to what we are going to discuss today.
Yeah, welcome Claudine. Josh?
And of course, we have their advisor, the advisor for international students. We have the one and the only, Kuya Moses Joshua Atega. Kuya Mo, welcome to the show.
Yes. Thank you. Finally, I'm here.
Yeah.
So, mabuhay Philippines. Silliman, we love you. And terima kasih to the students. Thank you so much for being here.
From Philippines and Indonesia, let's jump to the United States of America. We have here the Vice President of Higala International Students from around the world, or HISO, a BS Biology fourth-year student, Mr. Dalton Glova.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. I've never been invited to one of these, and I have a lot to discuss. I have so much I want to talk about. So,
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Ron, let's begin our conversation, Kuya Mo. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with your office. So let's begin our conversation by talking about what is the role of the International Students Office?
Yeah, the International Student Center of Silliman is envisioned to be a one-stop care for all international students. So before, it used to be like you come from somewhere in the world, and when you get to Silliman, you're like touring around the world by going to one office to another office, and they get lost along the way, and they're still in the process of adjusting. So it was very heavy load for them, and they were still in their first week. So now, all they have to do is go to Oriental Hall at the second floor, and there you will find the one-stop care at the International Student Center of Silliman University.
And yeah, speaking of, international students, I know there are a lot of coping mechanisms that they are going to, do here in Silliman, especially that they are away from home. No, but let us first get to know the different offices. From the international office, let's go to the guidance and testing division. What does your office do, and how important is guidance and counseling to the Silliman University or to the Sillimanians, Kuya
Yep.
Jarves?
All right. The guidance and testing division, actually we're the ates and kuyas in the campus. So we're the support group in the university, in tune with the mission and vision goals of Silliman University by providing holistic education to our students. And in our program, we have, of course, our target is to provide them with psychoeducational information, psychosocial support, and psycho-emotional support for them to adjust in the campus.
Okay.
Right. So I think, Ron, the fact that we have ates and kuyas in the university is something that's unique to Silliman, something that makes Silliman a home indeed, no, to our international students here. And of course, we have here Claudine from Indonesia. Welcome back to Silliman University. Did you also experience the ODL with Silliman?
Yes, I experienced 2 years of online distance
Alright.
learning.
And how does it feel that finally you're in the campus? What are your impressions? And so far, what's your favorite part here in Silliman?
At first, I definitely felt overwhelmed and, oh my gosh, where to search for friends?
Okay.
What about my professors and everything? But so far, so good. This is actually my 4th month here, and everything has been going really well, and I'm adjusting really well, especially with my classmates, with my international family. They've been really supportive, and I'm really happy. And probably one of my favorite things in Silliman would be the cheese bread.
Okay. Ron, I think we got a response already for our fast talk. It's going to be the cheese bread.
The cheese bread is quite controversial nowadays, no? Especially if you are following Silliman Confessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
From Claudine, let's go to Dalton. I cannot help but ask, are you full-blooded Filipino?
Yeah,
or you
I get that a lot. So
Yeah.
I am from the United States. However, both my parents are actually Filipino. So my mother and my father are from Tacloban, and they met there. And I got attached to Silliman because my mother actually graduated here in '87. So she actually knew Kuya Mo, and then contacted Kuya Mo and said, "Hey, like, I have a son who kind of wants to go to the Philippines. Can I show my college that I used to go to?" So I was able to get in touch with the Higala family here when I was just even before I started my Silliman journey, and it was a very life-changing and amazing decision that I'm happy I took.
No, Kuya Mo is really an icon, no?
Yeah.
It really reeled me in here, so I got it. So
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Is this your first time here in the Philippines? also?
actually, no. Before, I would usually come here every 3-4 years to just visit family because half my family is in the Philippines, so I'd go to Cebu or Dumaguete or Tanhai. So I've been here a couple of times, but living here, I've been here for 4 years since 2018, and it's been a great experience.
Yeah, that's good, Ron, that we are enjoying the university. Most importantly, the cheese bread. But Kuya Mo, I think Claudine earlier shared to us that she experienced online distance learning, of course, in Silliman University. I'd like to ask, how did the pandemic, affect our international students, and what has been the services that you also offered to our international students?
At first, we're worried that everything has to go online. But surprisingly, the population actually increased
Wow.
during the online system. In fact, a lot of them wish to go on studying here if only online courses are available.
Oh,
So we've lost a number of them in this, now that we're back to face-to-face. So, we've used to it, before the student could even get here, our care starts where they come from. The moment they email us, we keep track of them, what their needs are. Sometimes they don't know where the Philippine embassy is in their country, so we just have to tell them that this is it. There's only one in the entire continent. so the best way for you is to come as a tourist to the Philippines and convert your visa to student visa the moment you're here. So those things, actually, we our care starts right from where they are. So it doesn't really, because that's how it is different. Like, I've attended gatherings of people with my job, and I always get to deliver the best practices.
Wow.
Because we are so distinctive here in Silliman with the way we care for our students.
Right.
So the care for Silliman yan doesn't only start here in Dumaguete, but we all actually reach out to around the world.
Around the world.
Kuya Jarves, let me ask, because as guidance counselors, you are also empathetic towards the Sillimanian community, the Silliman community. You are faced with, you hear a lot of problems from them. No, but I'd like to ask, now that we transition from ODL to face-to-face, what are the different problems, or should I say challenges, faced by our guidance counselors?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question.
Kumusta ang ating mga guidance counselors?
Yeah, kamusta? Actually, we're challenged now that we're having the face-to-face. Well, of course, we are quite bombarded with a lot of issues prior to pandemic.
Yeah.
So these are academic, personal, and even socials. But now, quite surprising, counselors are actually busy dealing with even clinical issues. That's why we need actually the support of experts in the community, because we have to link with them. Because some of the issues are beyond our capacity as guidance counselors. So what we do is we do referral with our experts, clinical psychologists, or if there's a need for us to refer it to psychiatrists, then we have to do that. Because some of our students are, they're presenting clinical issues right now.
Okay.
And of course, they have certification that they were diagnosed for such disorder.
Right. So I think, Ron, there is really this need also to pay attention to this as soon as possible, because we don't know, things could exacerbate, and this could also affect their life in general. And I'd like to ask our international students here, so far, how is the Silliman community in terms of your coping, adjusting, and I'd like to ask about language barriers, or is there like culture differences? So can you share to us how has it been transitioning and adapting here in Silliman and in Dumaguete?
So far, my 4 months here, it's been quite a journey adapting with the new customs and everything. Although the Indonesian and the Philippine custom isn't really that different, but I definitely experienced some contrasting, And so far, my friends, my classmates, and my teachers, at first, they would speak Visaya sometimes in class, but I'm very grateful that once I reach out to them, hey, I can't really understand the language, they would immediately respond.
Have you learned a Bisaya word?
Oh, yes,
Claudine?
of course.
I hope it's safe to say on TV.
Definitely is.
Yeah, what have you learned so far?
I've learned words like gutom. I've heard
Gutom.
my friends say that all the time.
I think it's because of the cheese spread. That's why they're
Yeah, and then words like charot and
Charot, the slang words. Okay.
the classic words, and but definitely the professors and my classmates have been really accommodating, especially when they know we're new here. They really make me feel like I'm home, and I'm very grateful to all of my friends and professors for doing that for me, and especially Ate Ja and Kuya Mo, because everything that we do, they will watch over us, and they will, advise us and everything. So I'm very grateful for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, how about Dalton?
Oh yeah. So my Silliman experience has been it's been great. I mean, since 2018, coming here, obviously I got to get used to like the country and the culture. But a lot of people are like misled that even if I'm from America, like, oh, like, do you even like know Philippine culture? But it's like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, both my parents are Filipino. Like, I have a household where we still cook sinigang, and I use Vicks and efficacent oil and all that. So, I'm like familiar with the culture. But, coming here, I really got to immerse myself into what it means to be a real Filipino. You know what I mean? Like, I might be a Filipino at blood, but who am I at home in my country? I'm an American, So coming here, I got to be in touch with people who are like me, like people of my origin. So, it's a great life-fulfilling journey to be like, I know who my ancestors are. I know who I was, who I am. And coming to Silliman, we have great people from all across the world, like from like Belgium, from Europe, from Africa, and even in the Philippines itself, domestically, they're from all different places, like Bacolod, Manila, you have Dipolog. So, we have Filipinos from all walks of life that are also here, which give it a blend. So, you meet a lot of different characteristics here, different characters that, you're able to just immerse yourself with. And, being here, I've been able to find some great people.
Ron, we're just going to take a short break, but when we come back, let's ask them about the VIX and the efficacy later on in the next half of this show. And also, would like to ask Kuya Mo also, what are the statistics right now? How many international students do we have, and which countries they're from? And of course, we'll also ask Kuya Jarves about how our students can approach their office. All of that and more when #Silliman returns. Welcome back. This is still #Silliman. Thank you for staying with us. Before we took a short break, we actually asked Kuya Mo about the statistics of our international students right now, which countries they are from, and of course, I know you're excited about the VIX and the efficacy thing, but we'll ask Dalton that in a little while. Kuya Mo, how many international students do we have at the moment?
Yes, currently enrolled, and by the way, graduate schools start enrolling, so and a lot of them are international students. So It's 371 as of today.
Wow.
And they come from 41 countries.
41 countries.
So the biggest group is China, as expected. And then the second biggest group is Korea. And yes, students from Korea. And the third biggest group are students like Dalton here from the United States. So there is a group. And not just Filipino Americans, but we also have Americans here, right, coming from all over the United States. So they're here with us. So they're the third biggest group. Then Myanmar is growing to be overshadowing Indonesia. Used to be the biggest.
You should be
Right.
competitive.
And so those are the top countries.
That's
Yes.
so good to know, Ron, that we have 41, right, countries. No?
41
countries.
and 371 students.
Yes.
International
just
students.
For today.
For
just for
today.
today. Yes.
That's a good
Because
number.
still growing, Because before the pandemic, we had students from 53 countries.
Wow.
Yes.
Then can you state what's the statistics for the students, Kuya Mo? How many were
The last
they
time we
during
had
the
a
pandemic?
survey, the number one reason is scuba diving. Yes, it's really nature adventure that attracts them to Dumaguete. In fact, one student from Canada just came for student. He didn't know there's a good school here. So he really came for scuba diving, and then when he learned that there is Silliman University, he decided to enroll.
Wow.
And the rest is history. He graduated magna cum laude and even went up to medicine.
Okay, yeah, Joshua, let's go to Kuya Jarves. You asked about how can Silliman University or Sillimanians reach the guidance and testing division.
We can be reached on and off campus. On campus, we have guidance offices intended for each colleges. So it's quite easy for them to access their guidance counselor. They just have to know where the guidance office is located in their college. And there's an office hours. And also, offline, we have the My Soul. We have our own window, which they can check, and then they can DM, direct message the guidance counselor. Or they can even directly request counseling online. And then if they want to do it face-to-face or online, that's also possible. So
How many messages do you receive, Kuya Jarves, every day?
every
From
day,
My Soul or-
from My Soul, actually, counseling requests, let's say per colleges, maybe in a week we get about 5 or 6 counseling requests per colleges. So it depends on any concerns that the students may, not necessarily counseling, or just queries. So they just, sometimes they just, even queries, they even request for counseling for that. But actually, we classify it as information.
All right. So I think we kept on asking our international students about the things that they've been learning from the Philippine culture, Silliman culture, and of course our culture here in Dumaguete. But so far, what are the things that you also say, educate Sillimanians about your culture? Like, for example, is there, what are the common things that you usually share that you'd like also to share, to our televiewers about the Indonesian culture?
Well, one of the things that I promote or advertise the most from Indonesia is the mee goreng noodles.
Alright.
So of course, if you haven't tried it, please do try it. 'cause
Did you
it's-
bring one today, Claudine?
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Do we have an Indonesian restaurant here in Dumaguete that you know of?
Oh, I don't know.
Malaysia
I
is
think,
the closest,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tempat
And
Raya.
so that's na miss, no?
Yeah. So that's the how do you say that?
Mee goreng.
Mee goreng.
Noodles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it come in flavors also?
Yeah, there are actually a lot of flavors, but the one available here in the Philippines is just the original one. The basic one, but it's okay. It tastes so good, so if you guys haven't tried it yet, please do try.
Can you cook for us?
For the next episode.
Okay, we'll do a cooking show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. Mee goreng.
Yeah, you should have a cooking show. Yeah.
We'll do that when we'll shoot for the cafeteria episode. We'll invite Claudine to prepare.
And other high salt, no.
Yes.
Sorry,
We're
international.
we're
our
having
own
a food
cultural dish.
festival every year.
Wow.
Actually.
When is
Twa-
that, Kuya Mo?
That's celebrated during the United Nations Day.
That's quite near, right?
And the church also would invite us during the World prayer Sunday. So we open it with an international food festival.
Cool.
I hope hashtag Silliman producers magkano naman.
How about you, Dalton? What do you share about the culture
from-
that also you got from
Yeah,
US?
so like I mean, in my culture, like the only thing, I mean, America is such a melting pot.
Yeah.
So you can't really like say like, oh, this is a culture. So
Right.
like, you know, like we're mostly known for like some of our like music artists or like some movies. And you know, like the most stereotypical thing I do is just like, oh yeah, you know, cowboys, you know, yeah, that's American. Like 4th of July, like yeah, I mean, holidays are not very cultural. It's more like historical in that sense. But like, I mean, the only culture I bring to me is like obviously my Filipino culture. But in terms of American culture, I mean, food, like burgers. I mean, like,
We also
Yeah.
have here.
Yeah.
We're like
Jolly.
we're only 5 seconds away from America when
Yeah.
it comes to
That is
culture.
Yeah.
True.
I know, right?
Yeah, it gets here right away.
In fact, we're here at the American corner, right? Where's the US Embassy flag?
Oh, yeah, by the way, to make them feel at home, we actually celebrate their national holidays also
Wow.
here
That's
in
true.
Silliman. So
4th of
that's
July.
that's what we do. So that keeps us busy throughout the year, and it perks them up. There's a reason to gather. So even if 4th of July is for Americans, all other countries are invited to join.
Okay, that's great. Now, Kuya Jarves, speaking of prelims, because Joshua mentioned prelims and midterms are fast approaching, no? And I guess some of the students might be, be mindful about the things that they are going to do,
Yeah.
the things that they are going to, submit, deadlines.
even feel pressure.
Pressured because of the exam, no? So, what are the things that you can share, perhaps, to our students, coping mechanisms that you can share for
Alright.
us?
Actually, there's a lot, no? But to boost their mental health, of course, not only for students but for all of us, is to be mindful about their physical health and their mental health as well. Like, number one is at least you have an exercise every day, because that can boost good hormones in our body. And then create a routine, like daily routine, so that you can have a good habit, like taking down like what to do for the day so that you can be fulfilled, whether you have accomplished all these things. And then connect with friends. So that's going to be your social support group, so that you can share your struggles on a day. And then get to reflect. So that's part of the mindfulness practice. So before you sleep, get to reflect what happened during the day. So these are the things that can help you boost our well-being. Yeah.
I think that's very powerful, Rona.
Yes.
It's simple as
Yeah.
it seems, but I think that's very powerful. Like arranging your day, creating these little habits, the atomic habits that we do every day. Kuya Mo, you've mentioned that we have, a lot of international students in the campus. What do you think is the role of multicultural education or student diversity in an academic institution such as ours?
Actually, it makes it very rich. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't even make use of these resources.
Yeah.
Like, we do have a lot of cultural talents that they can avail of. Like, I witnessed a United Nations celebration in the secondary education and in elementary education now. How I wish they invited real people, right? And
right.
be with them, because that's how they can really enrich the experience.
It becomes
and-
more authentic.
Yeah, and like one time we actually went to a barangay and taught the children different games from different countries.
That's nice.
And the kids enjoyed it. Like they loved the experience that, oh, this is something new. This is a game we didn't experience. And so there's a lot of things we can do in that aspect. And even research-wise, we can be of help, because there are so many dimensions
Right.
not yet written down. Yes.
Okay, I'd like to ask the students, it's good to hear a lot of, positive experiences that you have experienced here in Silliman. Now let's talk about the challenges of being away from home. So what are the
Ooh.
challenges that you homesickness perhaps something like
Yeah.
Ron, do you prepare tissues for this?
that? Quite serious. No?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, yeah, it's definitely a struggle. I mean, it depends on the person, because like some people are able to go home as frequently as they want, or they can't. Because I know some people who've been here for like since the start of their education, and they haven't been able to go home. So
Yeah.
like I asked them like, how has that been? And it's like, I guess it's the way it is. And like like you should probably make a visit sometime. Like they definitely miss you and stuff like that. And especially me, like I had trouble like my first like year here. I was like, wow, I need to go home. It's been so long. Like, where's my mom? Like, I need someone to cook for me. I can't be like doing all this myself. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely
You're looking for the
something.
Vicks at-
Yeah, exactly. I know. Where's my like head massage, mom? Like, I have a headache. But yeah, it's definitely something that it's a challenge for international students. Like everyone carries it differently and cope with it differently.
Yeah, how about Claudine? You mentioned that this is your first time to be here, and although that you are a third year student, but because of the pandemic, this is your first time to actually be here in Silliman University. So how does it feel? First time away from home?
Well, it's been pretty lonely sometimes because I miss my parents and my family. But I try to keep myself in a positive mindset, and I know that I'm not alone because I have all the people here supporting me, and I'm so grateful once again. But the challenges, I just try to not think about it and just push through, because I know at the end of the day, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do for my dreams and everything. So keep hanging on there.
Beautiful.
The good thing about these students, even during the online system, these two have been very active. Like Claudine won the McIntyre Oratorical Contest. She joined online, and then he's been really our ultimate MC in so many online events.
occasions.
Yeah.
Wow.
So these are like, and that's made, somehow they were not here, but they gained popularity. They got elected president and vice president. So it matters, and so there's that immersion. So, and it kept them busy. That's why Jaruvic that's so good that you tell them that they really have to be part of where they are. And Dumaguete is a very organic life, and they're actually fortunate. Dumaguete is a gift to their life, and they should discover that more. It's a beautiful island. Yes. They should discover this island the way I did when I was a student.
Right, and I think, Kuya Mo, with their presence, the beauty is even being enriched, it's being added, and we create more stories that are worth sharing and telling to others. We are running out of time. How I wish we could share more for this episode. But to wrap this up, I'd like to ask, I know it's already like post-pandemic times, but if there's one thing that you have really, really learned and you can hardly forget about it, that the pandemic taught you, for the past 2 years or almost 2.5, what is it? Kuya Jarbs.
For me, I think to continue to be proactive
Okay.
and
Proactive.
to respond to your personal and social challenges in life. So,
Be
and,
proactive.
yeah.
Dalton?
Yeah, I think to build on to what Dr. Rafols said, it's also resilience, because you always have to, like, there are going to be some tougher days. During the pandemic there was tough days, but you always have to remember that you're living. Living doesn't continue until you keep living yourself. So as long as you take every situation, make the best out of it, and do what you can with the abilities you're given, then everything will go the way you want.
Wow. Powerful resilience. Claudine?
As for me, I learned to really appreciate what we have right now, because it's a blessing, whether it's a blessing in disguise or we may think that it's not, but it really is something that we should appreciate and be thankful for every day.
Yeah, gratitude.
Yeah, actually, one thing I realized during the pandemic, that it was a business opportunity for Silliman. And I hope they make the online classes stronger and really available, because we still have a lot of international queries about
Yeah.
our online programs. So
Definitely.
if we can really fully establish our online university,
Yep.
Yeah.
then it's an opportunity to explore, and we got used to it. We've experienced for 2 years, and we survived, and we just have to go on because it was a beautiful world reaching out to everyone in this planet.
Wow. There's really a great visibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. We are now at the part of the program that is sometimes most awaited of the guests, no? The fast talk, because Kuya George have been asking backstage, behind the scenes na, are we going to have fast talk? Of course, Kuya George, hindi pwedeng wala.
We won't let you go without the fast talk. So we'll just be going. We're going to give you options that you have to say your answer. You don't have to think of it too hard.
Okay.
So let's start with Kuya Mo. Kuya Mo, summer or rainy days?
Summer all the time.
Claudine, day or night?
Day.
Dalton, night owl or an early bird?
Oh, night out. I can't do early bird.
Kuya Jarves, is it mathematics or sciences?
Sciences.
Kuya Mo, what is the most beautiful spot in the university?
Me, it's the amphitheater.
Aw.
What's the the tastiest or the most delicious cuisine that you have tasted here in Dumaguete?
Cheese bread.
Hashtag cheese bread supremacy. Dalton, date nights or morning walk?
Date nights.
Date nights.
All nights.
Kuya Mo, is it math problems or essays?
Essays.
Kuya Mo, beaches or mountains?
Actually both, but it has to be mountain for me.
Okay.
Claudine, is it love or career?
Love.
I think we should ask all of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dalton, love or career?
Oh, love.
Love.
Kuya,
Kuya Jarves.
Definitely love.
Love.
Kuya Mo,
Love.
Of
Love.
course. Josh?
let's proceed. All right, Kuya Mo, cheese bread or baked siopaw?
I go for cheese bread.
Okay, all of them must complete this sentence. Silliman University is
A beautiful place.
Amazing.
amazing,
Holistic.
holistic.
Is the best place to be.
So come to Silliman University, the campus by the sea.
Yes. Ron, we have now come to the last segment of the show. It's called hashtag WTP or Word to Ponder. What's the word that you picked for this episode, Ron?
Yeah, when you ask them what's their what's the thing that they learned from the pandemic, being proactive, being, what do you call this one? I
Resilient.
forgot.
Resilient.
Resilient, being
Full of gratitude.
grateful and
Opportunities.
opportunity.
for expansions.
I'd like to pick on the word reaching out, because being proactive, you also require to reach out. No, being
Yeah.
resilient, it's also important for us to reach out, because reaching out is one way of, when they say no man is an island, it's really true. For us to survive the pandemic or any challenges, it's important for us to have someone to lean on. And we cannot have that someone to lean on if we don't reach out ourselves. No?
Right.
Try to reach out not just to other people, but also to yourself. Ask yourself, how are you? No? And ask yourself, kumusta ka na? Something like that. So it's important to reach out, not just to ourselves, not just to other people, but also to God. No, it must be holistic, of course.
That's
not
nice.
To yourself, to others, and to God. How about you, Josh?
Well, I was struck by Claudine's sharing about being away from home, yet she takes this opportunity really to learn and to be independent.
And to be grateful.
And to be grateful, but it's like a bird, leaving the nest
Yeah.
and trying to fly on your own and explore the bigger world. But at the end of the day, your wings won't flap and flip unless there's air beneath it.
Yeah.
So there will always be this, support system, and I'm just so glad that as a community here in Silliman University, we're able to provide. We have very energetic, approachable advisors, sets of ates and kuyas in the guidance and testing division, and I think that what makes Silliman University university, Silliman University.
Yeah.
So
we have a lot of wings beneath
air
wind
beneath our wings,
no?
right? So I think that's very important to have the right people to support you.
True.
So I think that will be all. Daghang salamat for joining our episode tonight, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians! Daghang salamat for joining our episode tonight. Don't forget to support our Facebook page. It's called #Silliman. We also have a YouTube channel. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. Comment, share, and like. See you there!
And of course, catch us on Peel Products every Monday at 8 p.m. and replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and Saturdays after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn Vailoces
And Joshua Soldivillo. Kita kits next week only here on #Silliman. Bye!